What do you get when you cross a Taiwanese chip giant with the American desert? Well, apparently a whole lot of sand and some delays. Picture this: Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC for those in the know, hatching an ambitious plan to open a chip plant in Phoenix, Arizona. The reason? To tackle the pesky global chip shortages. There were cheers, there were high fives, and there was a guy named Bruce who was ecstatic about his new job. But then, the plot thickened. Delays started creeping in like tumbleweeds in a Western movie. Tensions began to simmer between Taiwanese and American workers, who, by the way, were trying their best to communicate through language barriers and adapt to a strict work environment. Now add some cultural differences into the mix, and you've got yourself a real-life sitcom. So if you thought your office politics were bad, spare a thought for poor Bruce and his colleagues, navigating a cultural maze in the middle of the desert. Now, delays in chip production aren't exactly new, but when you're building a plant in the desert, the stakes are a bit higher. The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, had its grand plan of opening a chip plant in Phoenix, Arizona in 2024. But alas, the chips didn't fall where they expected. The project, like a mirage in the desert, shimmered with promise but was plagued with problems. We're talking poor management, lack of materials, and building code violations. And let's not forget safety issues. I mean, who wants a side of danger with their silicon chips? These issues were like sand in the gears, slowing down the whole operation. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. Despite these hiccups, TSMC stood by its commitment to safety, signing a workplace safety agreement with Arizona. They may have encountered a few cacti on the way, but they were determined to make it work. Then there were the cultural management challenges. Imagine going from the hustle and bustle of Taiwan to the arid expanse of Arizona. Talk about a change of scenery. This led to tensions between the Taiwanese and American workers, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. So next time you're munching on your nachos, remember, not all chips are created equal, and some take a little more time to bake. In the world of tech, the future is as unpredictable as a desert dust storm. As TSMC attempts to navigate through cultural and professional differences in the American desert, the successful production of cutting-edge chips at the plant remains a question mark as big as a cactus. The skepticism about adapting TSMC's Taiwanese work culture in the US is as palpable as the dry desert air. Meanwhile, the competition is not sleeping. Samsung, armed with a hefty $6.4 billion chips grant, is setting up shop in Texas, further heating up the US chip industry. This Wild West showdown between TSMC and Samsung is like a high-stakes poker game, with chips of a different kind on the table. So will the desert bloom with silicon, or will it just be a mirage? Only time will tell. Until then, we'll keep our chips and salsa handy.